What's up, everyone? I'm Marilee Blair, and I'm obsessed with traveling as I've been to 54 countries so far. And today, I'm going to talk to you about Cappadocia, Turkey. Cappadocia is one of the most incredible cities in the country of Turkey. One of the reasons it's so popular is because of its unique rock formations and, of course, the sunrise hot air balloons that you can, 1, enjoy from a rooftop cave hotel, and 2, to also enjoy in the sky surrounded by over 150 other hot air balloons. You don't have to wait for a yearly festival to enjoy this magical, once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity. You just need to make your way to Cappadocia. But Cappadocia has so much more to offer than just the hot air balloons. There is so much history, and the rock formations itself leave you speechless with awe. The reason why the rock formations look like a dream is due to a volcanic eruption that happened over 60 million years ago. And because of this, they created these fantasy-looking rock formations that are also known as fairy chimneys. My husband and I have been on a hot air balloon before in Temecula, and it doesn't compare to doing it in Cappadocia. I actually got extremely emotional because it was on our bucket list for a long time, so to be able to actually see it in person and be around all these hot air balloons was truly incredible. We actually also decided to do a photo shoot because we knew this was a once-in-a-lifetime type of trip. So we wanted professional photos to document us with the gorgeous hot air balloons and our rooftop, which was truly magical. When we were researching cave hotels to stay at, it was a bit overwhelming because there was just so many beautiful cave hotels that included free breakfast and had amazing views and offered gorgeous rooftops with those beautiful carpets you see on Instagram. So finally, we found the hotel that we stayed at called the Divan Cave House, located in Garom. And the reason we ended up choosing this one was actually because of all the cave hotels, I liked the rooms the best in this cave hotel. What I loved was their honeymoon suites were absolutely gorgeous, and they provided big jacuzzis in your bedroom. And this trip actually became our second honeymoon. Since we had to postpone our big wedding to May 2022 because of COVID, we decided let's have another honeymoon to Turkey and Greece in September 2022 because one honeymoon just isn't enough. So we booked this hotel through Expedia since I had some points to use up. And when we booked it, it actually didn't show us which honeymoon room suite we would get, but I was praying we would get a very specific room I saw pictures of and wanted. And when we got there, we were so lucky that was the room they gave us. So let me tell you about this room. The room that I wanted, the honeymoon suite, it had a private balcony terrace only we get to hang out in to watch the hot air balloons, and the jacuzzi was right next to the clear windows of the balcony terrace, so we could also enjoy watching the sunrise hot air balloons from the jacuzzi, which is just so romantic. The cost of this hotel for 4 nights in the honeymoon suite, including free breakfast, was about $248 a night, minus my $28.33 Expedia points, making the grand total $1,046.11. And the location was perfect. We were in Garom, so we were walking distance to so many restaurants, coffee shops, stores, and the famous Turkey rug stores. Also, very important when traveling to Turkey, you will need a visa, but it's fast and easy to apply for. I will put the link in the description of this video to help you when you apply for your visa. But of all the visas I've applied for to different countries, this one was the easiest one to get. It cost $51.50 per person for the tourist e-visa. When you choose the dates of your visa, it's good for a total period of a duration of 180 days, but you can't stay in Turkey past 90 days. And they will email you your e-visa to download. The strange thing is, no one actually ever checked our visas going into Turkey, but my husband thinks it was linked to our flight somehow, but it's better to be safe and not risk not having this. So get the visa, especially because it is mandatory to enter Turkey. For currency, Turkey uses the daily currency. So if you're actually coming from Europe, you could use euros. And you can use a credit card, which was really helpful for us since we were coming from Greece and had leftover euros. So we didn't have to worry about exchanging euros to liras or converting US dollars to liras. So we just used those up, and I used my Chase Reserve credit card the rest of the time. For transportation, the airport is far from the Divan Cave House Hotel. It's about an hour and a half from where our hotel was and all the other main cave hotels. So it was really easy for us to just book the shared transfer with our hotel. It was cheap. It cost us 10 euros per person per way. So grand total of 40 euros total for round trip transfer. And they actually offer airport transfers for all domestic flights for both airports, Kayseri and Nevşehir Airport. We arrived at the Nevşehir Airport. We just needed to email them our flight info. So when we arrived in Turkey, they had a driver holding a sign with our names for us to take us to our vehicle. And when we were leaving to head back to our trip, they had the driver let us know while we were waiting in the lobby to go back to the United States. We knew we were booking mostly day tours and walking around our hotel area. So we actually didn't need to rent a car or utilize a metro or Uber, which I recommend just booking the day tours. They are reasonably priced and it's easier to get around. You can always hire a driver too, but since this was a shorter trip for us, we were all set with just doing the day tours since they all provided transportation. For activities. Of all the activities that we booked, of course, the sunrise hot air balloon was the number one thing we wanted to do. It was the biggest reason, along with seeing the rock formations, we came to Cappadocia. And I looked into booking it on our own, but our hotel actually offered to book majority of our excursions, including this one, at the same rate as Expedia and Get Your Guide. And they would actually save us the hassle of being able to communicate with the vendors if there was a cancellation due to weather, which helped a lot. And they were great at communicating through email. So we booked our hot air balloon ride with them to pay by credit card, which is a little more, but I like to book most travel activities with my Chase Reserve credit card since it serves as a travel insurance in case something were to happen. And yes, the sunrise hot air balloon is really expensive to actually do, but I promise it's worth it for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It costs us $485.54 for two of us, but it was worth every penny, and it was truly one of the most magical hot air balloon experiences of our lives. And it was just so surreal to watch a gorgeous sunrise with the love of my life while being surrounded by over 150 other hot air balloons and a gorgeous scenery. It was too good to be true, but it was true. And also, two very important tips when booking your hot air balloon ride, depending how long you have in Cappadocia. Number one, know that you do have to wake up extremely early for this, as they pick you up between 4 to 5 a.m. So make sure to get a good night's rest, wake up early, and they only offer the sunrise hot air balloon ride, so this is the only time you can choose in Cappadocia. Number two, book it towards the beginning of your trip to make sure you get to go, because even though they operate this tour on average between 250 to 280 days a year, the rest of the days they do have to cancel the hot air balloon rides based on weather conditions, and you don't find out until the morning of, after they pick you up between 4 to 5 a.m. and bring you to a certain location, and will tell your driver guides at that time if your hot air balloon is good to go or if they have to cancel because of weather, and then bring everyone back to their hotels. We got really lucky. We got to go the first time that we booked it. But other couples and people in our other tours told us they weren't so lucky and that they got canceled twice and had to be woken up early and then had to just go back to their hotel. So they were on their last attempt on their days of their trips, hoping they would be able to experience it. I've definitely used the phrase save the best for last in videos, but when it comes to certain photos you want and activities you want to do on trips, do the best activity and the best photo ops first, just in case the weather is bad or due to cancellations. One of the other big activities I mentioned my husband and I wanted to do was a professional photo shoot. to document us with the gorgeous hot air balloons, and we were able to do it right from our hotel rooftop. And the good thing is, we did it the day after our hot air balloon ride, even though we had to wake up really early again for this photo shoot. The next 2 days after the photo shoot, they had to cancel the hot air balloon rides. So had we waited to do our hot air balloon ride and photo shoot, we wouldn't have been able to do either activity, since we were only there for 4 full days. And the one other day we were leaving early for the airport to head home. So again, save the best to do first 4 activities. That way you can control your itinerary. Now back to the photo shoot. So I had researched other places to do it, but it was just so easy to do it from our hotel rooftop compared to other rooftops. And the photo shoot included a rental of this gorgeous red gown that I really wanted. So it cost us $200 with all the photos and videos. And it was so worth it for us because the photographer captured magical photos and videos that we'll have and cherish for the rest of our lives. And the last tour activity we booked that I highly recommend was the all-day mixed tour directly with our hotel, which costs 55 euros per person and covers highlights of south and north parts of Cappadocia. It included a professional English-speaking guide, lunch, entrance tickets, and transportation. Access to, first, the Maki underground city, which is part of the largest underground city of Cappadocia. Extremely amazing that people had to live there during the war in hiding. I highly recommend going. Number 2, access to the Ushar Castle, which is the biggest castle of the region. 3, Pigeon Valley and Evil Eye Trees. 4, Avanos, the pottery town. You'll see the making of the pottery and it's just amazing to see in person. Number 5, Passabog, the mushroom-shaped fairy chimney. 6, Devon Valley, the camel-shaped fairy chimney. And 7, U Group. 3 beautiful fairy chimneys. There's so many beautiful fairy chimneys. It's a great way to see other incredible sights in Cappadocia, other incredible rock formations, and you get to meet some great people from all over the world. We had so many great conversations on that tour. For food, you cannot go wrong at any of the restaurants in Cappadocia. But one spot we went to twice because my husband loves steak and the prices were so cheap for great steaks at this franchise that costs way more in the US and other countries was Sedef Restaurant. And while you are in Turkey, you have to try the clay pot. That is one of their signature dishes in Turkey. At other restaurants, my husband got the clay pot baked chicken, mushroom clay pot, and I got the clay pot with baked beans since I'm pescatarian, and they were all delicious. We didn't go to restaurants based on reviews for this trip. We just walked to the restaurants that were closest to our hotel. And again, to many restaurants, they offer the same cuisine. So no matter where you go, just make sure to order some type of clay pot dish at some point. And of course, you have to get baklava. It is the best baklava of my entire life in Cappadocia. We got it along with this delicious apple cider at a random market our tour guide took us to for the mixed tour. So if you go on the mixed tour, just ask your guide if it's possible, if they can take you to get the best baklava. And they will bring you there just like ours did. And just make sure your group is okay with it like ours was. Thank you all for exploring the world one video at a time with me as your own personal bougie budgeter. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and look for brand new episodes every Wednesday. And let me know what your dream destination is in the comment section. And for all helpful links and info I mentioned in this video, read them in my description below.